I'm Corbett Wall with Defy Auction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, November the 30th, brought to you in part by Safeguard. Safeguard wants to know, is your dewormer working? Text the word SAFE to the number 48109 to receive a free fecal test kit for your cattle and to be entered to win 100 doses of Safeguard pellets and a feed bunk. Futures defy the fundamentals. I mean, we're rocking along here, just gaining ground, in big hunks, and then all of a sudden we open the week here after the holiday and the board's down big. And you think, well, why is that? Well, a lot of us figure that it has to do with the Omicron variant, the new variant that's got everybody scared to death on the COVID. That's supposedly come out of South Africa. President Magoo had a talk about it on Monday and said that we're going to have some travel restrictions from some of those odd countries down in there that have the worst of it. But they have been real transparent about telling people that they've got this new variant out there. Now, how the heck they know it's a brand new variant, I don't have any idea. And what the difference is between it and others, I don't know, but it just seems like our administration out of DC kind of likes these scare tactics of these, and it gives them more fodder to continue to preach for more vaccinations and more boosters. And I guess every time we come across another strain of these variants, and everybody has to go back through the chute and get jabbed again. But it's something that's happening that's bad, that's affecting our economy and our overall life, that wasn't necessarily a poor decision by them on their part. So they kind of like to talk about those. But who knows if that's why your cattle board went down. Now, your stock market's been down over this new variant, and we've seen a lot of your publicly traded markets, including a lot of commodities that were down because of it. That's got to be some of it. They were a little bit worried about we might have some more shutdowns over it, which that hurts your food service and your restaurants and things like that. But we're not expecting that, at least not anytime in the near future. But and I would assume that your board would come back here on Tuesday and start going back up again. Your chart readers are seeing that technically your cattle futures are overbought, but they're live cattle futures are not close to par with what our weighted average is in your 5-area feeding region. They're about $1.50 behind that for our nearby December, which we're going into December here tomorrow. So, we're in there pretty tight. They need to be looking at something besides squiggly lines on those charts and kind of learn what a fundamental is and why, what the different factors that affect your fundamentals. But our fundamentals continue to be really strong. We didn't really see any trade to start yet this week. We expect that it's going to be at least steady or stronger. We're not seeing very many people excited about taking anything less than 140. A lot of people are going to be priced at 142. Our dress market needs to pick up a little bit of ground there. We did have some 220 there last week, but not much of it, just kind of to one deal there. But 216 was our weighted average on live steers dressed, live steers on a dress basis. But that was up big, but we need to gain a little bit more ground there. But things are rocking along here pretty good, and like I said on our last visit, our big high volume Monday sales were sharply higher, and we expect all our sales up through Thursday, actually, because Thursday last week was a holiday, so we didn't have any Thursday sales, all the way up until our Friday sales on Friday. They should be sharply higher if we don't see any more fear mongering come out about this new COVID variant. But let's look at your board for Monday to open the week. December live cattle futures were down 17 cents. That's where they settled. But historically, we see the Monday after Thanksgiving give the life of the contract high for December live cattle, and indeed we did get that early in the session. It was up some early in the session, sold off hard and then come back a little bit, but still down 117 to settle with December contracts at 136.92. Now our weighted average on live steers was 138.17, and we're here. It's December, so you know, that shouldn't be rocking down much further, I wouldn't think. Although we don't see on this side of your board being on the low side, we don't see the delivery process work as good because it's harder to demand delivery of cattle, and we just don't see that very often. Although we do see people deliver on it whenever the board's higher than what cash is. But February live cattle contracts down $1.90 at 139.30. All your back months were down from 55 cents to 157. Feeder cattle contracts, January feeder cattle down 142 at 165.72. March down $1.42 at 166.55. All our others were down, but not quite as much, down 22 cents to down $1.30. Now, our weighted average, our cleanup on all of last week's sales, direct slaughter cattle trade in your 5-area feeding region, 95,000 head. That's pretty darn good on a week with Thanksgiving sitting right in the middle of it there. That compares to 99,800 the previous week and only 73,300 the same week a year ago. Live sales of steers and heifers ranged from 132 to 140. That was $7 higher on your spread compared to the previous week. Wow. Weighted average on live steers, like I said, 138.17. That was up $5.06 compared to the weighted average on live steers the previous week. Dressed steers and heifers, $6 to $7 higher. Actually $6 to $8 higher, from 210 to 220. It was 219 was in there a lot. Did have some 220 there, one deal that we saw like on Thursday or Friday there of last week. But weighted average on dressed steers, 216.01. That was up $6.41. And just big gains there. You got to give it to the guys that are out there negotiating on price. They're doing one heck of a job. They see an opportunity. They're not shying away from it. They're digging in. They're asking more money. They're sloughing off those steady bids and the ones that aren't as much as what they want. And they need to go ahead and just figure on doing that again this week and throughout the rest of the year. Because we can gain some more ground here. We could probably gain another $5, $6, $8 on your fat cattle market before the end of the year. Now, nationwide, we had pure negotiated sales of 110,600 head. That's very healthy. Negotiated grids still up there quite a bit from what they normally were, but not as much as they have been. 36,200 head of negotiated grids. Formula sales, 204,200 head. So we saw a lot fewer formula sales than what we've seen. It's been quite a while since we've had over half as many pure negotiated cash sales as there were formulas. If we continue to see more and more of that, we'd continue to have more leverage on the market, and we'd be able to gain ground when we get opportunities to do that. It's only going to be done through more negotiated cash trade, guys. But of that 110,600 head negotiated we had nationwide, only 10% of them were for the 2 to 4 week delivery. And I've been telling you guys, you know, they always got 2 weeks to pick these cattle up or take delivery of them, and then they want them the next day or the day after that. So, you know, they're hand to mouth right now. They've painted themselves into a corner, and until we see significant higher numbers on our show list of market-ready cattle, and it's probably going to start to come up after we have the slowdown during the Christmas and New Year's holidays. We'll get flushed back full on our show list a little bit, and then we won't be able to gain the big ground that we've been gaining. But through the first quarter, we're still going to be kind of tight on supplies, so we shouldn't have to give much market position back at that point. But for the next 3 weeks, they're going to be wanting to run those chains full blast because they've got a lot of obligations to meet on orders that they've already made. And so we need to make ground here the next 3 weeks. Box beef cutout values were lower on Monday afternoon. Choice cuts 277.58 down 243. Selects 262.02 down 26 cents. Talk about what else is going on. Don't miss Farmington Regional Stockyards. That's in Farmington, Missouri. Their annual Customer Appreciation Day and pre-vac sale that's going to be coming up here tomorrow on Wednesday, December the 1st. Now that's not in the Boot Hill, but it's down in southeastern Missouri there. But new ownership the last few years, they've really been trying to ramp up the quality of the cattle that they get in there, the health on the cattle. They're promoting these pre-vac sales. They're doing a heck of a good job. They're going to have over 2,500 head there. Be an opportunity to put multiple loads of cattle together that have been long time weaned and have been through a pre-vac with all their shots. And really, you can find some nice cattle down there, guys. And so they've got a Jacob Massey, a friend of mine, good auctioneer, one of the top auctioneers in the country, coming in there for a guest auctioneer appearance. So that'll draw some more people. But big doings at Farmington Regional Stockyards. That's in Farmington, Missouri. You can go on to dvauction.com on Wednesday. You need to call into the office there at Farmington and tell them you want to be registered to bid, but you can get on and view and bid that sale on Wednesday here tomorrow, December the 1st. Let's talk about your feeder cattle markets. Real-time index on DV auction late in the day on Monday sitting at 160.187, up another 81 cents, so almost 162. That is your cash price based on an 800-pound steer up through the middle 12 states. Now that is not as high as what our spot January feeder cattle futures are, but they were down pretty good on Monday, but they're sitting 165 and 6 bits there, so they're going to start coming closer together, and I'll guarantee you by the time we get into January they will meet. But we're still running with a higher outlook on what feeder cattle prices are than what we're getting right now, and they're selling so good right now we can't hardly believe it. But don't forget Beaver County Stockyards here today on Tuesday. They've got a big sale. That's the no man's land sale there on the eastern edge of the Oklahoma Panhandle. And Jeff Slatton there, I talked to him on Monday, going to have 3,500 to 4,000 head of cattle. Sure, 1,500 yearlings coming right in there, guys. And then be a lot of weaned calves on there too. And then, of course, quite a few fancy calves right off the cow there too. It's just that time of the year here in the southern plains. But don't forget Beaver County Stockyards. You can view and bid that sale here today, Tuesday, dvauction.com. Get on there, Beaver County Stockyards. You can view and bid that sale and check them out. How about your big sales on Monday? Oklahoma National Stockyards in Oklahoma City. They underestimated, ended up with 11,700 head. Big sale for them. Feeder steers $2 to $4 higher. Feeder heifers $3 to $5 higher than last week. Calves $4 to $6 higher, with spots on calves as much as $15 higher. See what a $140 fat cattle market does. But really good sale there in Oklahoma City. Joplin Regional Stockyards, 8,300 head. Had a good sale there. It was mostly calves, but they sold from $3 to $9 higher. The yearlings sold good too. Weren't as much higher as the calves because they had that big yearling special a week ago. But check out this one big string of yearlings that sold there in Joplin. 134 head, 842-pound yearling feeder steers there at Joplin Regional Stockyards. Bring 165.10. How about Bluegrass Stockyards? Let's go out east. Bluegrass Stockyards South, Stanford, Kentucky. Sold 60 head, 987-pound steers, weighing nearly a grand, standing in the ring way out there in Stanford, Kentucky. Bring $152. I told you guys on our last visit about the Elgin Livestock Sales Black Angus Influence sale that they were having in Elgin, Nebraska on Monday. It turned out to be a whale of a sale. Saw some of the highest prices that we've seen all fall on some of those fancy high genetic black cattle that they had in there for that special. Ted Baum sold 70 head, 520-pound steers at $207. That's in eastern Nebraska, guys, not the sand hills out there where we normally sit. That's in eastern Nebraska, but it's not far off the yellow brick road, just the other end of it. But also the top sale that I saw anywhere on Monday come out of Elgin Livestock Sales there. It's your Zach Tran top quote for the day. 95 head, 639 pound steers, bring $190. And that's your feeder flash for Tuesday.